Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing the GMC Canyon AT4X AEV edition. This is the same truck as the Colorado ZR2 Bison, and so we're going to find out if this is truly a Ranger Raptor Decimator. That's what we'll call it. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Jerry Signer GMC here in North Salt Lake for giving me some time with this truck. I've said it in the past, this dealership gets the coolest GMC trucks, so if you're looking for a GMC truck, reach out to them. Link to their website in the description down below. Link to my car buying guide as well. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2.7 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 16 around town and then 16 on the highway, with power outputs being 310 horsepower and then 430 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see how you've got that divot there in the center and how it kind of falls off on either side. Pretty cool design. And they've got GMC's split light design here with the Canyon. I was a little bit concerned about it at first, but it turned out really well. Now I love the coloration on the grille with the AT4X, got the AT4X logo. Big thing with this AEV package is the bumper, so that is hardcore, can definitely take an impact off-road. We also have extra skid plate protection underneath. You can see the recovery points there as well. And so not only does it make the truck look cooler, it's obviously practical. Now our tire wheel setup is 315 by 70 by 17 in the front and in the rear. So that is correct. This has 35-inch tall tires. This looks so cool on a mid-size pickup truck. You also have these extra beefy fender flares. It's pretty cool looking. We do still get the multi-matic shocks with this. Kind of hard to see. I'll show you guys in the rear in a moment. AT4X there, we've got the rock rail protection. Let's take a look at the shocks and suspension in the rear. This does still utilize leaf springs. And then you can see the multi-matic shocks. Super reliable system. And look at the stance on this. That's so cool looking. It looks like a Baja truck straight out of the box. And this leads us to the key fob. We have our lock and unlock, remote start. We got the GMC logo as well, and pop into the back. And now, popping into the bed area, the tailgate does slow lower down, very, very slow. You still have the lockable storage here with drain ability. And then you can see a bed liner here from the factory. Got an outlet. And then yes, the spare 35 is in the bed, so that does take up a little bit of space. So some of you might see that as a downside. I think it just looks cool, and it makes more sense than putting it underneath, because if you have a wheel underneath, it just gets so dirty off-road. I know that from personal experience very well. It's easy to lift up. You can see here with the cool C-shaped taillights, you've got all the badging here on the back. And then again, we've got an upgraded bumper here in the rear. Really rigid recovery points with this as well. And then you can see kind of with the exhaust tip sticking down. And then this is really cool. So look at the differential. Just the height, right? It's a low-hanging fruit, so it's cool to see how high that actually is with this package compared to most mid-size pickup trucks. But that's the rest of the rear. Now, being an AT4X, it does have the crazy interior color theme, and that continues onto these seats as well. Normal space for a mid-size pickup truck. So you've got vents, you've got USB ports, manual slider for the rear window. So they didn't really change anything here with, and I'm double check the headrest. Yeah, they didn't really change anything here with the rear seats. And then taking a look up front, you can see again with the different trim pieces. All of our window controls, the driver one's automatic. You got your mirror adjustments, memory seats, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And then this is pretty cool. Payload capacity is 1,004 pounds, so you do lose a little bit, it looks like, with this package. And then you can see we've got, it's kind of hard to see with the plastic covering, but AEV there on the headrest. The rest of the seat, though, is the same as before. All of your adjustments on the side. See the coloration throughout. We do have the factory wrapping on this one because it literally just got in, but yeah, so far, this is cool. Now the lighting's not great, but there's trailer brake controls down there on that section. And then taking a look at the steering wheel, it's so cool to see the wrapping and everything. But you've got the cool stitching there on the center portion, GMC logo, radio controls in the back, all of our practical controls in the front, including controls for the center screen there, your cruise control. And then you have the singular stock on the back. Now I've got this full digital gauge cluster. We can scroll through and change it, which is another cool feature with this new GMC Canyon. Also, obviously, with its Colorado sibling as well, but I don't know, I think that makes things fun. We've got a 360 camera system with this. And I wonder if this one has the under... Ooh, it does! Yeah, we've got the underbody cams. It's in transport mode, so some of the stuff might glitch out a little bit. It looks like it just did. It happens. Again, it's in transport mode. Anyways, as for the rest of the infotainment system, you can see quick response time with the screen. Let's see if I can pull up that camera again, if it'll... There we go. Like I said, give it some grace. Yeah, that's pretty cool with all the underbody cams. But yeah, quick response time, easy to use. And this is also where the drive modes will pop up. So we've got a Baja. Whoops. So we have an off-road. There we go. Look at that. That's so cool with all the different drive modes. Baja, I think this could definitely do it with the tires. Now here's a quick look at the climate controls down below, dual zone climate, heated and ventilated seats. And then this is the important stuff for off-roading. We've got a front and rear locking differential, auto stop start, you can see for the hazard lights, lane departure, it's for an auxiliary item. You can roll down all the windows at once, which is pretty funny. Wireless phone charging pad, and then this has an advanced four-wheel drive system, so you've got auto, you've got 2-speed transfer case, we've got our shifter for that 8-speed automatic, some cup holders, it's nice at the center console. And then you've got more of that white trim on the dash underneath this wrapping, AT4X there as well. Let's see with the glove box. And then we do have a sunroof up top, pretty loaded. So here's a quick look at the window sticker for this Canyon AT4X. You can see a lot of stuff is standard. The AEV package is $10,100. So you can see it has the flares, the spare tire carrier, you get extra skid plate protection, obviously the extra spare tire, you've got the bumpers added to it, beadlock capable wheels, you've got the bigger tires, all of that. And then you can see the other options with this as well. $67,495 is the total MSRP. So it is about $8,000 to $10,000 more than a Ranger Raptor, depending on how you spec it. We'll talk about it. Let's take it out. Well, let us set off in this AT4X. It's so funny, the little cover over the shifter. It's cool to see these cars when they're wrapped up, if you ask me. It's kind of like behind the scenes a little bit. So I'm so grateful that I finally get to review this truck. I've been waiting a really long time. Every single time, I mean, we haven't really gotten that many of these Utah in general, but every single time one of these or the Colorado sibling gets into inventory, it's gone. Like you know, again, you can call them up and see if this is still available, but I would say that it's probably going to be sold before I even have a chance to post this video. That's my guess. But, you know, still worth a try if you're looking for one of these. And looking for one of these, you should. Wow. So the damping with the Multimatic shocks is great. But the biggest thing is just the height you have with the 35s and the ride quality you get with, again, you've got so much sidewall, so much air cushioning. Man, this is cool. This is seriously cool. Let's see, kind of. I usually don't show me turning around in this parking lot because I figure it's not worth it. But in this video, I do want to show you guys, to show you the turning radius with 35s and show you it doesn't rub. So yeah, it is a little bit of a bigger turning radius. But it also doesn't rub at all. Gosh, this is such a cool truck. Let's see through this little bump here. Oh man, this would be a beauty to off-road. And it can, by God, it can move those 35s. It does not. Do I have anyone? Okay, I've got no one behind me. Look at this thing. It just spools up. It takes a second. But man, this thing is a monster. R.I.P. Ford Ranger Raptor. R.I.P. Ford Ranger Raptor. Let's get a chant going here. I love the Ford Ranger Raptor. I do still think that V6 is a cooler engine than this 4-cylinder, right? I think that everyone agrees with that because it's got 400 horsepower versus 310 here. But, or I should say 405 horsepower, sorry. Gotta get those power figures accurate. This is a really cool truck. This is a really, really cool truck. And I would rather take this off-road than a Ranger Raptor in most circumstances because of the extra clearance, the extra comfort with those 35s as well, and then the extra protection. That is something that I have learned over the years is so important, is having enough underbody protection. Knock on wood, I haven't had anything too traumatic happen, but it's always nice. So yeah, I know a lot of people say they'll probably rather get the Colorado version because it's less money. Obviously this has a little bit more lux with the features and all of that. It's the same thing with the GMC Sierra AT4X AEV and the Silverado ZR2 Bison. Same exact, you know, the GMC is a little bit more expensive because it's got a little bit more luxury. Some of you want the luxury, some of you don't care for the luxury. But overall, really cool truck, super capable, and I think that this is the one to get over the Ranger Raptor. Because first off, like Ranger Raptors, big premiums over MSRP. Dealers like this don't charge over MSRP, so you don't have to pay any markup on this like you would in a Ranger Raptor. 35s make a huge difference, skid plates make a huge difference, bumpers make a huge difference. Let me know your thoughts, but I'd rather rock one of these or the ZR2 than the Ranger Raptor.